second man we honor this evening is one of Northville's own and grew up one block from where we now stand. As a child, Harry Mosher was just a name to me. My grandmother lived next door to his mother, and Harry was Mrs. Mosher's son who died in the war. But over the past 3 weeks, Harry has become much more than a name. I have slowly been able to piece together who Harry was and what a remarkable young man we lost through reading his letters home while serving, and from a first-hand account from Specialist David Piercy, Harry's dedicated radio men in Vietnam. Harry was the son of Marion and Gordon Mosher and Rusty's little brother. He was a well-liked young man, an incredible basketball player, and after graduating from Northville Central School in 1961, he went on to play at Hartwick College, where he earned numerous awards. Upon graduation from Hartwick in 1966, Harry enlisted in the U.S. Army and eventually attended Officer Candidate School in Fort Benning, Georgia, where he received his commission as a second lieutenant. He likely could have deferred his enlistment during the draft, but instead he decided to join the fight and apply to become an officer. Tonight, I wanted to share with you a moving excerpt from one of his letters as he was finishing training before being shipped off to Vietnam. Without a doubt, I am about to embark on the greatest, if not also the scariest mission of my life. After hearing classes on all the things that I am supposed to do once I get to my unit, I wonder if I will be capable. I can only say that I will do my best, and even General Westmoreland, who was the commander of all U.S. forces in Vietnam at the time, can't ask for more than that. In November 1967, after a year and a half of training, Harry arrived in the Binh Hoa province of Vietnam. He would soon experience the tests of battle under harsh conditions and would quickly learn just how capable a leader he really was. Over his 3 grueling months in theater, he would write home about bullets grazing his head, being out in the field in mentally and physically exhausting conditions, but mostly about taking care of his men. Harry had only been in Vietnam for 3 months when he would write his last letter home, postmarked the day before his death. Harry's radioman, Specialist Piercy, provided this first-hand account of their last mission together. On the evening of January 31st, 1968, Harry and his men were airlifted to a position near Long Binh, the largest military base in Vietnam. There had been several intelligence reports that the Viet Cong were staging multiple attacks to coincide with Tet, the Lunar New Year. Harry's commander directed him to take some men and set up a listening post about 50 meters in front of the main body. Once Harry and his team of 4 soldiers, including Specialist Piercy, got into position, they radioed the commander that they would send situation reports hourly. At around 11 p.m., they heard some movement to their front. Between the darkness of night and the thick foliage, they were unable to see the enemy danger they were facing. Harry radioed his commander, who then ordered the team back to the main body. But before they could move out, they started taking and returning enemy fire. At that moment, they saw the Viet Cong advancing towards their position, but the enemy forces quickly maneuvered around Harry's team and began engaging with the main body behind them. Unbeknownst to Harry's unit and the U.S. forces at large, this was the beginning of the 1968 Tet Offensive, a series of over 100 coordinated attacks orchestrated by the North Vietnamese. After the firing had died down, Harry's commander radioed for his forward team to return to the main body. It was at this moment they discovered that 2 team members had been badly wounded and were unable to walk, Harry being one of them. Specialist Piercy, his loyal radioman, stayed with him until he was placed aboard a medevac helicopter. The following morning, he would be devastated to learn that Lieutenant Mosher had succumbed to his wounds. Harry Mosher would be one of 2,600 U.S. or South Vietnamese soldiers killed during the Tet Offensive in 1968. However, the numbers on the North Vietnamese side were astoundingly higher. It is estimated that over 40,000 North Vietnamese and Viet Cong soldiers were killed by the end of March 1968. There is no doubt the combination of intelligence reports and advance warnings by forward patrols like Harry's helped thwart the Viet Cong offensive and undoubtedly saved American lives. Lieutenant Harry Mosher was posthumously awarded the Purple Heart and the Bronze Star, the 4th highest military award, for meritorious service against a hostile force in the Republic of Vietnam during the period of November 19, 1967 to February 1, 1968. Specialist Piercy called Harry one of the finest officers with whom he had the honor of serving and stated that he often thinks of and misses him to this day. Although 55 years have passed since Harry was killed in action, he is still impacting our present-day world. Here are a few valuable lessons that I learned through Harry and those with whom he served. First, always keep a sense of humor, even when things are grim. Sometimes laughter is the only medicine. Second, You can be courageous and brave, while at the same time being scared or having doubts about your capabilities. And third, never forget the impact that you can make on others. Your mark on this world can long outlast your lifetime. Tonight we remember not only these two men and all the other men and women who have died in service to our country, the veterans who have given the ultimate sacrifice through injuries, mental illness, or diseases incurred because of their service. Let's also take a moment to remember the 81,500 American servicemen and women who are still missing in action until we bring them home. They are gone, but never forgotten. James and Harry and these men and women are more than a name on a tablet in Cambridge, England, a headstone, or a black granite wall in Washington, D.C. They are brothers and sisters, sons and daughters, and mothers and fathers who gave the last full measure of devotion so that we may live freely in the greatest nation on earth. As they continue to live on through the lives and memories of others, their selflessness, bravery, and commitment to duty will never be forgotten. Thank you.